Welcome to another episode of My Manitoba. I'm here in my TP that I just started a few days ago. It's taken a lot of work, so it'll be a while before it's finished yet. It's certainly a lot of fun working in the bush and generally just being outside and being outdoors in the nice weather. It's a beautiful day today, plus 22. Heat is a bit to get used to, but that's what summertime is all about. I sure do love it in the bush. I come here quite often during the summer, at least every week, just to get away from things, get away from life, get away from modern life, and feel connected to the bush, to nature, to creation. Today I want to talk to you about being grounded. If you see my feet, I have no shoes or socks on. And there's a reason for this. It's called grounded. Let me share you a bit of ancient wisdom, if I may. In this modern age, there's so many people who are depressed or sit in their house all day doing nothing but watching TV, being depressed, talking about how their life sucks. Especially teenagers. They sit in their room all day long playing video games every chance they get. And everybody's depressed. So what I like to do is go out into the forest, take my socks and shoes off, and walk around barefooted. And there's 3 reasons for this. Number 1, when you're walking around the bush, you could walk very quietly with just bare feet. You cannot do this in sandals or shoes. Thereby you could see a lot more wildlife. Yesterday I seen 2 foxes going through the bush, seen a lot of deer, and if you had your shoes on, you would make a lot of noise in the leaves, and they can hear you a mile away. So it just goes to show you that you can walk very quietly. Animals don't hear you, except for the deer and the foxes. They might smell you, but if you walk very carefully, you'd be surprised the wildlife that you could see. Reason number 2 is a lot of chemicals gets absorbed through your feet and through your head. Now, this is one of the lessons that you learn in farming too. When you apply chemicals, never wear a hat, because the chemicals, the vapors and everything can go around, swirl around your hat. It sticks to your hat and absorbs into your head at a rate of 90%. Your head is 90%, your hands, I can't remember what the numbers were, 70%, but also your feet. And people ignore that because they have shoes on, they have socks on. But the chemicals can absorb to can attach itself to your shoes, to your socks, and it goes right into your feet and throughout your whole body. Now, what you're doing when you're walking through the forest without your shoes and socks on, you're essentially absorbing good nutrients, especially with fresh soils, good bacteria through your feet. It instantly makes you feel better. You try it. You go to the bush, take your socks and shoes off, walk on solid ground for a half an hour, and I can guarantee you, you'll feel better. Suddenly you can think clearly. You start thinking about nature, creation, as I like to say. You think about good things in your life. You think about flowers and trees and all the good stuff in creation. It is almost an experience. It's a humbling experience. Now the third reason, and the reason why they call it grounding, is because when you walk around in bare feet, you're walking on bare soils, you're walking on grass, your body releases the positive charge into the ground, which is negatively charged. After a while, you can absorb a lot of positive charges. And the positive charges isn't positive for you. The positive charges that you're absorbing, it's very negative. So when you walk around bare feet, the positive charges goes out of you into the earth. And that itself makes you feel 100 times better. Now there's a reason why when you go to the beach, you feel so much better. You're running around on the beach, you're playing in the water, and you could do this for hours and not even think about it. You think about the wonderful things in life, you feel so charged, you feel better. That's because you're being grounded. That's why kids can play on the beach for hours and hours and not even notice anything around them. They don't notice if it's lunchtime. They don't notice what's going around them. They're just busy playing in the sand, building their sand castles, getting dirty. They don't care about anything else in life. They're just having fun. And that's often why kids are so full of energy, because they're always grounded. How many kids do you know that hate wearing shoes, hate wearing socks, run around all day in bare feet? And you think, man, I can't do that. Well, sure you can. You have to get used to it again. For kids, it's normal. So if you're prone to depression, if you're prone to feeling down, get outside, take your socks and shoes off, and go for a walk. And I don't mean go for a walk down a path, a nice gravel pathway, a paved pathway. You gotta go into the garden, you gotta go into the forest, get your feet wet, get your feet cool, and you'll thank me for it. Years ago, I watched this program, and it was down in South America somewhere. I think it was called Last Man Standing. I tried to look for it, Google search it and everything. There's only a few little zerps about it. But basically it was this group of people. One was a bodybuilder, the other was a wrestler, the other was a endurance runner, and so on. They're all like athletes. And they went down to this secluded village in the mountains. And the next day was going to be a race, a long distance race from these natives. And these natives did not wear any shoes or sandals. So the night before, they drank a lot of home brewed beer, and they went on this race, and even the long distance endurance runner could not keep up to these natives. And you're thinking, well, yeah, that's because these natives were used to it. But not only that, after they went back to the States, they studied the run that the natives were doing. And since they never wore shoes or sandals, they would run on their tippy toes. So instead of running like a normal runner would do on their heels, they would run on the palm of their feet and their toes. Now that does a lot of things. First of all, it takes the absorption of your run. You can run so much farther, so much faster, with less energy, less, not so hard on the body, because that shock when you're running on your heels goes through your whole body. But if you run on your palm of your feet and your toes, it's like a shock absorber. And secondly, this homemade beer that they were drinking was very high in carbohydrates. And sure, it gave you a hangover, but it sure gave you an energy for the run the next day. These people were grounded. I encourage you to get grounded again. Being grounded means you are well grounded. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.